Yes. Uh-huh. Just looking at this voting, yes. The Constitution of the United States has been amended several times to extend voting rights. 15th Amendment, denying a citizen the right to vote because of race. The 19th Amendment, protecting the rights of women to vote. Now, depriving African Americans of their voting rights. Yeah. Certain states require to pay a poll tax to gain the right to vote. And poor whites passed the Voting Rights Act that prevents these and other methods depriving people of their rights. Could you get me a copy of that Voting Rights Act? Yes. You know, when police departments have the evidence that you haven't committed any crimes, and they thought we don't have to protect a person's right to vote. Um, I think you do. And I'm going to sue every cop in the United States that thinks otherwise. And then there's the sheriffs at every county. Now, I documented I wasn't in Swim and you wouldn't admit the evidence. I documented I wasn't in Brennan and you wouldn't admit the evidence because you sat there saying I don't have to do anything. But you do have to protect the right to vote. Every time that you obligated me to a mental health evaluation, when you did know that it was a fraudulent court order that was issued because of forgery, because of violating the rules, the laws, the federal statutes, and the constitutional right to due process, those are known as civil rights. And then when you refuse to give me a speedy trial because you said I'm going to a mental institution, every time you obligated me to a mental health evaluation, you happen to have violated my right to vote. Now, you would say, well, I can defend this, can't you, Cowgill? Wait until I sue you, right? And then I document 2 million emails, and then I document that you did not have any evidence because I was not in Swim, Washington. And that my remedy for a court that violates the laws of the United States is to have you prosecuted for refusing to protect the voting rights of American citizens. That's my remedy. Do you understand, Kelgill? I have one remedy to sue every oath of office in this county, Jefferson County, Washington State, and quite possibly every state of the United States for not protecting the voting rights of American citizens. Because when you deprive people of their voting rights, because you deprive people of their civil rights, because you deprive people of their custody rights, you deprive people of every right. It's going to be a big one. I'm going to find every restoration where you obligated a 1077 without the evidence that a person committed any crime. And then for every individual that I find that did not commit the crime, because I know I'm not the only one, I'm going to continue to sue this nation until such time as you understand exactly how large this is. You've taken your restoration laws and you made them a way to deny people the right to vote. Now, I'm the textbook case of an individual that did not commit any crimes. Police and sheriff's department wouldn't enforce his civil rights. You continue to hold my sons hostage. And when I inform you that I want my rights enforced, you decided to sit there as if you were the king of the hill. Now, I told you I didn't want to sleep on a couch. I didn't want to sleep on a hardwood floor. I didn't want to sleep on a cot. But your abuse of power, because of your refusal to admit evidence, your refusal to. Now, I want a phone call today. I want my victim's rights. And I want to sue you, Judge Porter, for ordering a mental health evaluation without obligating some sort of evidence other than Corey Hall's traffic citation that I violated the civil restraints of a protection order. And then I want to sue you, Judge. Do you understand? I want to sue you. That's going to require that I can use the actual judicial system of this nation. Now, Why don't you have Marilyn and my sons give me a call? Do you have my phone number? Because these mental health evaluations, this one, yes, absolutely unnecessary. You know, if the police department had just admitted the evidence that they received an email from me that had videos from June 16th of 2017, I wouldn't have spent the last year having to do this. Now, this cyber stalking, oops, 2 million emails. You want to tell me who it was that was the co-workers that said that I was harassing, intimidating, well, you issued a protection order for 10 years. You served me in the Sequim Public Library by an individual that's not the sheriff. Had no legal right to have any of my private information. Every protection order since July 8th of 2011, you put mental health evaluation without any due process. Every time that you issued a court order, you put mental health evaluation. You have completely obstructed and violated the civil rights of American citizens. Now, why don't you get me the voting districts of the United States and all the polling places and all the employees that have sworn that they would support the Constitution of their various states and the United States because I emailed them. Yeah. And then get me the actual machines that are used for voting. There wouldn't be any biochip decoders in any of the polling machines so as to have some sort of influence on the decision making of those that are voters. Now, I told you about these biochips, they're real. Yeah. And I told you about the readers that they have for animals, right? Veterinarians. Why don't you just give me all the vets again and let's see how many chips they sold so that they could biochip cats and dogs? Yes. And then get me every hospital, every clinic, and all the medical professionals that they themselves had gotten a biochip reader so as to read the chip in any individual that wanted to participate in the medical records being on their chip. Now, we really can't have any technology controlling the voters of the United States of America. Voting Rights Act of 1965, yes. Law passed to help enforce the 15th Amendment, yes. Not be denied the right to vote due to race or skin color, or not be denied the right to vote because of fraudulent mental health evaluations that were ordered by the court because of law enforcement refusing to admit the evidence. I'm sorry, Chief of Police. I'm going to sue you. In each city of the United States that has any knowledge of this fraud. Now, Seattle Chief of Police, if you know you're getting sued, which Atlanta, oh, Dallas, ooh, Los Angeles Chief of Police. You know, I emailed the Chief of Police of the Los Angeles Police Department and I informed him that my civil rights were being violated. And instead they said, you're getting sued, as is every police officer on the Los Angeles Police Department. Okay? My civil rights are being violated. And it looks like you're on the way to violating my right to vote.